what's up guys, Holyknight with you, bringing you Fairytail 100 Years Quest Part 2. This chapter, I know a lot of people are gonna bash on it a lot. Let's get the elephant out the room, as they say. In the last couple of pages of this chapter, we found out about this pendant called the Guillotina's Holy Pendant Drake, the seal of the 5 dragons. We find out in this thing are 5 dark dragons that are supposedly almost as strong as Actilogia, or as strong as the Actilogia. And as you can see in the thumbnail, Natsu's like very, very happy about it. Now, I was reading some of the comments of people on other sites, and a lot of people are bashing it, hating on it, saying all this negativity. And I just want to say, first of all, we have to remember that Ezra's mother is the queen of all dragons. She was in hiding. Fiora's top wizard, which was I forgot his name. Serena. He had 8 dragon leukemias in him that made him a dragon. Actilogia didn't know about him until they first met, and he got one shot. And he was as strong as and stronger than Irene, which is Ezra's mother, the queen of all dragons. So, not to mention he didn't know about Natsu and them, the other dragon slayers, until Zeref woke up on Maris' planet or island and dragged the Actilogia over there. And that's when he found out about them. So, as powerful and as strong as the Actilogia is, and as terrifying as he is, and as good as he is in killing dragons, he's not really good about finding them. As we've seen with Irene, she's hiding. Serena, he wasn't hiding. The 7 main dragon slayers of Fairytail, he had no clue of them existing until Zeref, made that irrelevant to him. When he went to Timber Island to hunt down Zeref, we found Fairytail and the dragon slayers instead. So, I mean, to say that it's impossible for other dragons to exist, it's not too far-fetched. I mean, the one thing about Fairytail that I love the most, and that people don't really give Fairytail credit for, is that it's a very, very big word out there. Not to mention that it's connected to Rave Master, and Rave Master was a huge word itself. So, and you have to keep in mind as well that the Dragon of Law, which that's someone just call him Law for short. We found out that he's just like Irene and Actilogia. He was a human that learned dragon magic and became a dragon. But unlike them who was taught dragon magic by a dragon, he actually acquired it on his own. Now, that brings something interesting to the phrase, because it's like we never see a human or heard of a human being able to attain that power on their own. They were always taught. But he specifically said in this chapter that he on his own learned it, so he wasn't taught by anyone. So, does that mean anyone can really learn Dragon Slayer magic? That you don't really need a teacher to teach you? I mean, that brings up a really good question. And another thing that brings to my attention is, it was stated that all the original Dragon Slayers that turned into dragon had lost their mind. And this old man might be a little weird and cuckoo, but compared to Actilogia and Elaine, as his mother, he seems pretty nice. So either he's being a douche and he's lying to these guys and sending them to his death, or he's a pretty chill dude for being a dragon. Which is weird because, like I said, aren't all the original Dragon Slayers went crazy and lost their mind? I mean, it was stated by the Emerald Dragon, it was stated by Irene's backstory, the Actilogia's backstory. I think even Igna said it, something about the original Dragon Slayers turning into dragons and going crazy. So this old man, even though he might be a little weird, but he's not like bloodthirsty crazy like the rest of these guys are. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And also something else that I forgot to mention earlier. We noticed that in the earlier pages of this chapter, Toka and Beskar Juria was arguing about Gray being around people and Natsu being around people. And Juria stated at first that Natsu has all these girls following him that are better than you. Then as revenge, Toka does the same thing to Juria. But she mentioned one name that caught Gajiel's attention, and we see him get really, really angry at her. And it's Blair. And this is in case if you don't remember who Blair is, since Fairytail ended a while back. Blair is the dark-skinned chick that was in the Dark Guild, the new Dark Guild that took over Grimmer's heart, that Black Coat Guild. So, which if I'm not mistaken, didn't she get arrested with the rest of them? So how does this young lady knows her? And we see Gajiel get upset at her, so I won't be surprised if later on she becomes a traitor, or she might be Blair herself, or maybe she really does just want to be in Fairytail because Natsu's there. Who knows? But that's something else that I noticed. And yeah, I mean, this chapter was just weird all over. I mean it brought a lot of good things to our attention, but at the same time it brings more questions than answers, because it was like we thought after Actilogia died off, everything would be cool. Actilogia, Seraph, 2 big baddies gone. Now out of a sudden 5 more dragons is like, it's not impossible, but at the same time it was like, why didn't you just save this for the regular Fairytail? You know what I'm saying? Instead of using Fairytail as a spin-off, why didn't you just continue from where you left off as, that? Or at least left a cliffhanger for us. When he's doing it this way, Hero, it seems like an ass pull, technically. That he's just running out of ideas or just spamming ideas. Even though, again, like I said, it's not really impossible, so it can go either or. It could be an ass pull, it could be this is what he did have in mind. But, it's kind of scary when you think about how powerful Actilogia is and how they had to, beat ass on him to get him out. The same with Zeref. And now we find out there's 5 more dragons almost similar to, or as powerful as the Actilogia. Which, again, people are going to be hating on that, but it's not impossible for dragons to hide. Irene, the queen of all dragons, Ezra's mother, she hid for a really good while. The Actilogia couldn't find her. He knew of her existence, but he couldn't find her until she showed herself, so. These other 5 dragons could be the same. Maybe they knew of Actilogia's power and bloodthirsty hungry, so they decided to hide. That, or as the old man Law stated, this pentagram, the holy pentagram of Gotinda, the 5 sealed dragons, maybe these 5 dragons are sealed in there, and Fairytail will have to go into this dimension pocket where they are sealed and slay them one after another. Because if they were just hiding out in the wild and any human can find them, then you would think, well, the Actilogia should be able to find them and kill them with these. But since that ain't happened, there has to be some type of explanation on why not. But yeah, this chapter was very good, very interesting. I love seeing the Fairytail Guild back together. Love seeing their expression, how they fought. Love seeing the fan service between Natsu and Lucy. When Law went into her chest as a munchkin, and then Natsu grabbed in there, was reaching for it, but then he teleported behind Natsu and started laughing, and Natsu was stopped laughing, and Lucy was like, "Can you get your hand out?" Oh, and also before I forget, it was also dropped and foreshadowed by I forgot her name, but the Lucy Celestial Spirit, the one that can dig holes. She said that a friend in a reunion is waiting for you at this country, which means we might see Aquarius again. And so, yeah, that's also awesome, because that cliffhanger of Lucy never finding Aquarius when Aquarius and her made a promise to find each other again was kind of like, eh. But with this continuation of the spin-off of Fairytail and then making it happen, and all this being canon, by the way, that's pretty good and interesting. But yeah, I think I've been rambling enough about this. If you haven't read it, go read it. If you read it already, read it again, because I'm about to. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Leave your thoughts, opinions, and predictions down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.